Alright, it's been a while since I've used a pet that has one of the most broken abilities in the game, and that is Monty the rabbit. So if you're relatively new to the game, you might not know which pet Monty is. Monty is the white rabbit with the baseball bat that spawns from the Easter egg perk. And this pet has an innate ability to do double damage, and it doesn't have to hold a perk to do so, it will just always do double damage. But even crazier than that, it will do triple and then quadruple damage at levels 2 and 3. And Monty, much like a lot of the tokens in the game, is considered a tier 1. Now that means it's very easy to both frog swap Monty, but also use Quetzalcoatl to boost up the level. So in this run, what I want to do is use Pangasius, which is the blue fish guy at the front here. It's kind of awkward that there are now two different Pangasius units, but this one is the regular one. And I want to put Icky on it. I always say exposed, which is the old name for the ailment, but Icky is the official name now, which is the ailment that causes pets to take double damage. So the goal here is to try and get a Monty hit in battle that does as much damage as we possibly can. So level 3 Monty, and then level 3 Pangasius will multiply the effect of Icky 3 times. I'm not sure what the absolute max that we could potentially get is, but it's pretty high. And the only awkward thing is that Easter egg used to be a low tier perk. I think it was tier 3. But then it became apparent that it was obviously way too strong as is, and so it ended up getting moved up to tier 5. So yeah, there's a little bit of a setup cost involved here because we have to find the Easter egg when we get to turn 9. And then we also need to have a pet that we can put the Easter egg on in order to pill it to get the permanent Monty on our team. As we lose to generic Bison team number 573. Now, very luckily here, we get the Easter egg in the empty shop slot with the pill frozen. But the level 2 frog allows us to swap the stats from the Pangasius. It doesn't really matter too much if the Pangasius has poor stats, because we're just going to put it in the back of the team and hope that it survives. I think if it gets sniped, it doesn't actually activate its ability. But luckily here the Lynx misses it. I think it's not going to help us anyway, we're still going to lose, yeah. But that's okay, we're going to bring in Armadillo as well, which should give everything loads of health and allow us to get this combo working at full efficiency. Not sure exactly what I'm looking for here. I should have taken the salt earlier, because salt also doubles damage, so we can actually get a ton of different multipliers going here. And then the crane is going to give extra attack to Monty. Look at this, it's doing 32 damage per hit at level 1. Just really nonsensical. And that's only with weakness on the Pangasius. We're about to get... We're trying to get Icky. Actually, I guess that's what I'm looking for here, is I'm looking for Visitor, so we can just pill it. You can get Icky from the canned ailments, but it's much more frustrating when you keep buying them and not finding it, so pilling Visitor was the easy option. The jump pets on the opposing team here knock themselves out because they keep targeting Monty, but it does end up being a tie. I think I should unfreeze the Wolverine here, yeah. There we go, we find the Visitor. Don't really need the cake, so I guess we'll just buy Pumpkin onto Monty. So I think what's going to happen here is I'm just going to save up for a bunch of turns until Monty gets up to level 3. Unfortunately, this silly chain ends up moving the crane so it's in a different spot, but we still win. Actually, that was Lucky Luke. Entertaining battle though. And unfreeze the tier 6s. Actually, luckily get a chocolate there, so we only need one more turn of Kets. There we go, there's level 3 on the Monty. So how much damage are we going to do here? 125 damage, and that is just with weakness instead of Icky. So we're about to find out what the difference between the two is. So we'll pill the visitor onto Pangasius and then put in the armadillo. Probably should just buy the salt there, but actually get lucky with the greedy roll and find another armadillo. Unfortunately, we actually had our combo messed up by that team because they replaced the ailment on the Pangasius with Tasty, which ended up giving us a bit of scaling, but doesn't let us see the maximum damage that Monty should be capable of, even though he only has 16 attack to start with here. Okay, 128 there. Not too bad, but it must be possible to do a lot better than that. Actually a 1 HP win. That was kind of surprising. Level 3 on the RAS should give us a good chance of having a one attack unit at the front of their squad. And look at this. Couldn't be more perfect. They've got that Fairy Armadillo at the front. 73 damage, 44. Now Monty is just going to completely sweep the whole team. So I wasn't keeping track there what the actual highest amount of damage we got, but clearly, having Monty starting at only 16 attack, that's not going to give you the highest damage possible. So we're going to run it back. I can't remember exactly what I end up getting here as the maximum damage, but I think Monty games in general are just pretty funny to watch. So hopefully there will be some more entertaining rounds in this one. Odd team here playing Ox at the front. And ends up giving us the win. I guess we still need the Easter egg as well. Okay, we're going to buy the visitor first. And then I'm just going to keep rolling with the pill frozen to try and find the Easter egg. Not the greatest strategy, but oftentimes that will happen with teams like this where you've got very specific pets that you need. It's pretty common that you could end up sort of board locked where you can't buy sell a pill bag. Especially if you didn't put canned ailments in your pack to give yourself an alternate option. Okay, there's the frog, and there we go, Easter egg in the second slot. It would actually be interesting to know what the chances are of getting a specific food on turn 10 rolling like that. I could look it up on my own website, but I'm too lazy, so we'll just assume that it was not very likely. So Easter egg onto the visitor. We upgrade the Pangasius, and then we can stat swap Monty with the chinchilla, which has actually been building up a bunch of gold from the birthday cake. Buy sell zebra before we buy the armadillo because we don't really want any stats wasted on it. And then what could we look for now? We suppose we could take ostrich, but I think the armadillo takes care of the health situation pretty well. There we go. There's Quetzalcoatl. Briefly thought about Bad Dog, but I think I would rather have Monty carry the game as much as possible. Great One was nerfed slightly, but it's still very good. Here's Bucky. Playing kind of a random looking team. And yeah, one of the downfalls of this particular squad, I think we're actually... Okay, we just tie. If you don't have a means of replacing the ailment on the Pangasius, it's pretty much a sitting duck. So if you want to play a more sensible team, it's worth saving a space for a perk giving unit to pass back and replace the ailment. Now this is pretty funny. We actually get an ailment on the Monty there, and it's the Sleepy from the Bakunawa, which actually reduces the attack, and yet it's still one-shot the opposing pet. So I'm going to keep Kets for one more turn because it allows us to get level 3 Pangasius. Too late for Tofu. Looks like we're going to take Cockatrice as the next pet to make up the squad. And look at this, we're doing 100 damage on a lot of these hits. I think it was 130 something on the frontmost unit. Monty still has very low attack here, and yet is breaking 100 damage. It's just such a nonsensical unit. Really, I should have just frozen the pair there, because any pair that we buy onto Monty is a ridiculous damage boost. Okay, unfortunately a summon team next. So 136. With the multiple activations from the Crane, you can still solo entire squads like this. And yeah, even the Phoenix in the backline is not going to do anything with the amount of health we got from the Armadillo. So luckily a hot dog hits Monty here. Okay, the second one not so lucky. 23 attack. Imagine if this was like, you know, if you'd stat swapped a wasp or something onto Monty. Okay, 184. We're getting close to the 200 range. Almost solos the whole team again. And actually that time Pangasius had enough health to survive. Yeah, I shouldn't be buying the health here. I don't know why I'm not just rolling for attack-based stat food. I mean, we're on 5 hearts. We know we're virtually guaranteed to win at this point. And then we turn this turkey to stone. All the crane triggers get used up by the small one. Yeah, okay, maybe this particular summon team is going to be a bridge too far. I think someone was actually asking me about this specific opponent the other day, that they kept seeing Anubis with 4-squad Anubis with Mushroom Eagle. I guess I probably should have had the unicorn pack food that gives just attack. But then look at this. With the health from the Armadillo, we actually put their giant tortoise up to 100 health. And then Monty does over 200 damage. So what a final round there. I don't know the total damage Monty dealt there, but it was ridiculous. And then we've got a couple more clips here, just of other runs that, you know, more notable things happened. So exactly the same thing here, where we've got, you know, a bit of a roadblock in the shop because we're trying to get the stat swap onto Monty. And then we're just going to play a bunch of armadillos until we can find the other units we need. Okay, there we go. We found one straight away. It looks like I don't have Crane here, but... okay, we're just going to go for level 3 Armadillo. Monty gets a level up straight away. And look at this. We actually face opposing Monty, which does 6 damage to us, and we do like 60 odd to them. But the fact that they have 3 scalers in the backline, yeah, our technology just wasn't strong enough. And then here's another one. Another team where we end up giving someone 50 health because of the level 2 Armadillo. The green sea turtle here is a good solution for the Pangasius. There weren't very many rounds where I got that to activate, and it actually kind of mattered, but that was a win. And any Monty win is worth showing in my book.